Good morning, students. Welcome to day 6 with our chapter Water Resources. In earlier videos, we have already learnt about the meaning of the word water resources, the sources of water on the earth. What do we mean by the word irrigation? What is the need of irrigation? Why irrigation is very important for India? We have also studied in detail about the primitive methods of irrigation. In today's video, we will be emphasizing on the modern methods of irrigation. The modern methods of irrigation teaches us how to judiciously use water, how to avoid wastage of water caused due to evaporation, leakage, seepage, whatever it is. It teaches us to how to use the water till its last drop. Basically, these type of methods were discovered in Israel where there is very shortage of water. Specifically, sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation. Today we will be starting up with the modern methods of irrigation, that is sprinkler irrigation. While going through above topics, we will be learning about modern methods of irrigation, that is sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation and bamboo irrigation, about importance of water, about conservation of water, about need of conservation of water. While going through above topics, we will also be learning some new words. Hoses, a flexible tube for conveying water, arid, having little or no rainfall, leaching, drained away from soil, root zone. Root zone is an area of oxygen and soil surrounding the roots of the plant. Wells, a device for controlling the passage of fluid or air through pipe. Kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is defined as a work needed to accelerate a body of a given mass from rest to its stated velocity. Pesticide, a substance used for destroying insects or other organisms harmful to cultivated plants. Nozzle, a cylindrical or round spout at end of the pipe hose used to control a jet of gas or liquid. Watershed, water parting boundaries, or watershed is that land area which drains out or contribute runoff to a common outlet. So let's start. So let's start with one of the modern methods of irrigation, that is sprinkler irrigation. Before going ahead with the topic, let's know something about this topic. Sprinkler irrigation is an easy and simple method of irrigation. Nowadays, the water is provided to the fields by spraying water droplets similarly to rain through pipes. Sprinkler irrigation is done in the areas with less water and uneven ground level. It consists of pipeline, spray cuts, spray nozzles. With it, water will keep going in 360-degree manner and every drop will contribute to the agricultural operations going out there. Hence, with this type of irrigation, less water will be used as comparatively to surface irrigation. But we must remember that this type of irrigation is not suitable for the crops that need much water. For example, paddy crops like rice and sugarcane. So let's start. This is a type of overhead irrigation and has been in use only a couple of decades ago. In this type of irrigation, sprinklers are set up to the fields and supplied with the water by hoses. Hoses means the flexible pipes for conveying water from the source of water. It can be well, it can be mostly, it is tube well. So, sprinkler irrigation system includes application of water in a form of spray, somewhat resembling rainfall. It is suitable for almost all the crops on moist soil. Moist soil means soil that is slightly wet and on the lands of wide range of topographical conditions. So, in a simple or in layman language, I can explain you like. In this type of irrigation, the main pipeline is laid in the field. They are joined to perpendicular pipeline with rotating nozzles. Water from the tube well is allowed to pass through these pipelines under the pressure which is escaped from the rotating nozzles and get sprinkled. Now, what are the advantages of the sprinkler irrigation? Before starting up with the advantages of sprinkler irrigation, let's know some advantages. Number one, it helps in the conservation of soil. Number two, it helps in increasing the soil productivity. It protects the crops from extreme frost or temperature. It helps to maintain the physical composition of the soil, and it is very useful for the sandy soil and uneven landform. So let's start. Advantages of sprinkler irrigation system are as follows. This system of irrigation does not involve any loss of water by seepage or evaporation, because the water is not directly exposed to the sun, so it does not evaporate, as the water supplied through pipes is not exposed to the sun. This method is best for conserving water, as there is no wastage of water, as the water is just passing through the pipes, so the water is not getting leak or waste. It is the best suited for arid, means desert or semi-desert areas. For example, the states of Rajasthan and Haryana, because there is less availability of water and the rainfall is also low. So there the water is used till its last drop. Water management is easier than the surface irrigation, because again I am speaking the same, that here the water is not wasted by evaporation or any sort of leakage, etc. It does not interfere with the cultivation and less wastage of water. High application efficiency means we can apply it anytime. It is regulated. We can regulate it. We can switch on the tube will switch, and the water will be supplied whenever it is required. High and frequent application can be effectively accomplished. It can cultivate or irrigate a large hectares of land. Easy mechanization and automation. It is automatic, we know that. So disadvantages of sprinkler irrigation system. High initial cost, means it needs a high amount of money to start these types of projects. High operation cost. To maintain these types of projects, we need money for the installation, the pipelines, that hoses and everything. Water application efficiency under the sprinkler irrigation is strongly affected by the direction of wind, because the strong winds always affect the direction of the water. The water will, but obviously be going in that direction where the wind is flowing. Some crops are particularly sensitive and may suffer less scorch because of the salt deposited on the leaves after the water evaporates. Here I can take the example of spinach. The excess water can make its leaf dead, or sometimes what happens that some small holes are made on the leaf. So high maintenance requirement as constant, and the meticulous maintenance of sprinkler irrigation is necessary. It means it regularly need maintenance at a regular interval. Saline water may cause problems. Saline water means the water that is salty, and the salty water may destroy the crops also. Water must be free from sand, debris. Debris means the remains of rubbish, etc. and salt. So next start with drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is most effective water and nutrient delivery system for growing crops. Especially whenever you go to Karnataka side, on the sides of the highway, you can see some greenhouses. It is a very controlled way of cultivation, especially for floriculture. In that particular greenhouses, they use drip irrigation that delivers water directly to the soils. It provides water to the flowers like roses, lilies, and mainly practiced in the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and in their greenhouses. The another important aspect is that the temperature is ideal for the cultivation of that particular flowers. So let's start. It delivers water and nutrients directly to the plant root zone. Now here the word come, root zone. Root zone is an area of oxygen and soil surrounding the roots of the plants. The plants that have deep roots have deeper root zone and depend more upon groundwater. So let's start. In drip irrigation, the water is taken directly to the roots of the plants or trees. Like for a very small child or for infants, we use droppers now to give them a medicine. So in the same manner, the water and fertilizers is provided to the roots of the plants by the help of the drippers. A plastic tube is used which has small holes through which the water keeps on dripping steadily. Hence, the name drip irrigation is given to this type of irrigation. Advantages of drip irrigation. The advantages of drip irrigation are: number 1, fertilizers and nutrient loss is minimized due to the localized and reduced leaching. Leaching means draining away from the soil, because fertilizers and nutrients are going with the help of that water dripper, with the help of the dripper. So no wastage. Water application highly is if the water application efficiency is high if managed correctly. Field leveling is not necessary. There is no need to level the land like in plains. It is suitable for any type of topography. Fields with the irregular shapes are easily accommodated. That I have already told, because pipe can be laid into any type of topography. Recycled non-potable water can be safely used. The water which is very heavy cannot be taken from one place to another. Moisture with the root zone can be maintained at the field capacity. I have already told you the term of the root zone, that it is an area of oxygen and soil surrounding the roots of the plant. So in that particular root zone, the moisture will remain. Soil type plays less important role in the frequency of irrigation. Means this type of irrigation we can do it on any type of soil. Like canal irrigation, we need fertile soil or the soft soil to dig the canals, but here we don't need any such type of soil. Soil erosion is less. Soil erosion means removal of the top layer of soil by wind and water. Water distribution is highly uniform. Uniform means the water is going equally to every part of the field, controlled by the output of each nozzle. Nozzle means the point from where the water is dripping out. Labor cost is less than other irrigation methods. Variation in supply can be regulated by regulating the valves and ripples. Valves, you can see that it is type of a rotator which regulates or control the water flow. Fertigation can be included with the minimal waste of fertilizers, usually operated at lower pressure than other types. So it needs less electricity because it is always operated in a less pressure of pressurized irrigation, reducing energy cost. Next is disadvantages of drip irrigation. Initial cost can be more than overhead system. Initial cost means starting cost of getting that complete setup. The sun can affect the tubes because it is made up of plastic, so it can get damaged. Used for the drip irrigation, shortening the usable life. If the water is not properly filtered and the equipment is not properly maintained, it can reduce in clogging. Clogging means to obstruct with the thick or sticky material. If the water is not filtered, if there is something in the pipe, it can cause clogging. Now next we are starting up with the bamboo irrigation system. This type of irrigation is mostly practiced in the northeastern states of India. The water in the streams in the mountains can be easily carried to the long distance by the bamboo pipes. These all bamboo pipes are joined together and the water is passed through these pipes. So let's start. In the northeastern part of India, in Meghalaya, a 200-year-old system of tapping stream water by using bamboo pipes is prevalent, means it is in use. About 20 liters of water enters the bamboo pipe and is transported over hundreds of meters. So advantages, it does not need much of the fuel, electricity, etc. So very economical. It does not need any fuel or power, hence it is economical. It can be implemented in the regions where the bamboo is available for free or at low cost. We also know that in the northeastern states of India, the bamboo is available in abundance. That's why we also get many types of crafts which are made up of bamboo there. Next is the only one disadvantage is that the bamboo starts to rot in the rain, means start decaying or declining in the quality of the wood. So the whole network needs to be rebuilt after 2 or 3 years. After that, we are starting up with the importance of water. We all know the importance of water in our life. The basic importance that we cannot live without water. And if we cannot live without water, how can plants live without water? So the water is essential for every living being on the earth. It includes me, it includes you, it includes animals, it includes plants, etc. So it is the lifeline of all living beings, and all the physiological and the biological activities of the plants, animals, and human are dependent upon water. Water is essential for agriculture and industries. We need water for industries. Also, you know that this is the main reason that industries spend a lot of money for the water treatment plants, because they need that water. Water provides the kinetic energy used for producing hydroelectricity. Water also helps in disposing the solids and liquids waste generated by various activities of animals and human beings. This you all know how it is helping in disposing of solids and liquids. So water is also an important means of navigation. Navigation means for the movement of without water, the ships cannot move. Water also provides various sources of sports and recreation for relaxation. You have some picnic spots on the side, on the banks of the rivers, etc. We also have some water sports. If you go to Goa, we have a lot of water sports there. So it's it is a source of sports and recreation. Water is the only means of existence for the marine life. So water must be saved for our future generations, because without water we cannot live, and if we cannot live, our generations can also not live. So the next is need of conservation of water. We can say that we have a lot of water. 71% of earth is covered with water. So why we need to conserve water? We have a lot of water. So this is wrong. We need to conserve water because that particular water is not for our use. We cannot use that water directly. And if we will not conserve the water, especially the fresh water, one day it will be exhausted, and our coming generations will face difficulties. So although 71% of earth is covered with water, there is acute shortage of water reported all around. We often listen that there is drought in this particular area, the people are dying due to the shortage of water. So we need to conserve water. India receives nearly 4% of global precipitation. Precipitation means rain, snowfall, or hail that falls or condenses on the ground. Still, we suffer from water scarcity. Even though availability of water varies from time to time, because the rainfall is uneven distributed and it is erratic, depending on its water resources and seasonal and annual precipitation. Annual means yearly. The water scarcity is most cases is caused by overexploitation, excessive use, and uneven distribution of water. In some areas we have lot of water, in some areas we have less or no water supply. So that distribution also affects the water scarcity. Mostly water scarcity is caused by pollution of water by domestic and industrial usage. Especially we have mostly listened that on the banks of river Yamuna, the industries set up in Delhi, Agra, they are disposing a lot of waste in the water, and the river Ganga, Yamuna, they are getting polluted. So we need to conserve that, we need to stop that. Seepage of chemicals, pesticides, and fertilizers used in agriculture, thus making it hazardous for the plants and animal life. Because with this, the plants will also get affected. Their quality will get uh, depleted. We cannot get the crops of good quality, the fruits of good quality. Water scarcity may also rise because of the large and growing population. Demand is more, but the supply is limited. So we need to maintain the balance between the demand and supply. A large population needs more water not only for drinking and domestic use but also for producing more food. Increasing industrialization is also exerting pressure on our existing water resources. Rapid urbanization means development has also increased the pressure on the groundwater pumping devices like tube wells, as well as residential localities are going for installing tube wells to meet the growing requirement of water, especially during summers. Hence, there is marked deletion in the level of water table levels, because as we are consuming the water, the groundwater is not getting recharged or replenished at that particular rate. Most important source of water, Indian rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, and many other are in danger of turning into toxic streams. That I have already told that many industries are throwing their waste in these particular rivers because of rapid industrialization, agriculture modernization, and urbanization. Conserving water has become a major environmental issue. In order to save the conserve our resources, we have to reduce wastage of water. Apart from loss of water through the leakage taps, we keep taps on, the water is leaking. So that also we have to stop. And pipes that transfer water from dams to houses also contribute nearly 50% of water loss during the transfer. Because sometimes the water is getting evaporated or some other reason. Reducing per capita consumption of water and preventing wastage are effective ways of water conservation. Our water resources are depleting at an alarming rate. It is predicted that by 2025, large parts of India will join countries having absolute water scarcity, especially Haryana. We also have Tamil Nadu, Punjab. So we should conserve water. Although water is a renewable resource means that can be renewed or can be used again and again. The misuse of water wastage and inability to tap and harness our water potential has resulted in growing depletion of water resources. Therefore, it is important to conserve our existing water resources. Next is conservation of water. Conservation of water means preventing and controlling of the depletion and degradation. Degradation means reduction in the quality of water and making it best for the available water resources for the present and the future needs. Means the water should not be polluted. No harmful chemicals should be mixed in that particular water. So we need to conserve that water. Conservation means to protect that water from that toxics, etc. Conservation of water has become necessary due to increasing demand, shortage supply, uneven distribution of rainfall. This is again economics that I have already told, that supply and demand. There should be a balance between a demand and a supply. The following steps are necessary for the water conservation: developing water saving technology, proper water treatment plant should be there, everything should be totally managed. Preventing water pollution, it means that throwing waste material or industrial waste or domestic waste should be banned or should be stopped. Promoting watershed development, rainwater harvesting, water recycling, and reuse. Watershed management implies an effective conservation of water and soil resources for the sustainable production. Watershed is basically the water parting boundaries. Watershed is that land area which drains or contribute runoff to a common outlet. And if we talk about water recycling was is a process of conservation of water that can be reused for the other purposes. So students, this was a topic for the day. Please revise your topics and try to solve the related back exercises.